I recently read an article about how 30 to 50% of the games that come out in Germany get exported to foreign countries, which means that a lot of games never make it over here to the United States unless someone imports them. So what we have here is a game called DruidenWalzer, which, roughly translates to something like Dancing Druids or the Druids Dance. And it's a card game for 2 players where you are controlling a team of druids that is playing music at each other, trying to gain control of some trees. And that's about as far as the theme goes. I'm going to set up and show you how it works. A disclaimer with this one is that since we don't speak German, we did the best we could to sort of interpret what the rules say to do. So just take that into consideration, that we might get a few things wrong, but we felt like we got the spirit of what the game is trying to tell you to do out there, so hopefully this works out. Alright. Alright, so this is what you get with DruidenWalzer when you open up the box, is this nice instruction manual that's completely in German and nothing else, but it does have pictures of the things that you want to do, like setup, and that's extremely helpful. So at least we've got that going on for us. The insert fits the components pretty well, actually. We're going to pull out these tiles, these cards. Dump the rest of that stuff out there. Alright. Here's what you're going to do for setup. You're going to take these big tiles here, and you're going to put the moon here, and you're going to put the sun here, and you're going to take each player's respective trees and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's your playing area. And you could certainly space these out more if you wanted to, but it doesn't really matter. For the purposes of what these tiles do mechanically, they are where you're going to put your discard piles. So the moon player is going to discard his cards here, and the sun player is going to discard his cards here. The game comes with 30 cards each in the 2 player colors. There's little icons in the corner that show that that's the sun player and that belongs to the moon player, so you split the decks up. For setup, you're going to want to take a number 1 card out of each deck and stick it on the discard pile to start. So we'll do that real quick. Once you do that, you're going to want to shuffle each of the 2 decks separately. And then you're going to want to deal 5 cards to each tree. Only the 5th one, the one that's on top, you're going to reveal like that. So once you've dealt out the cards like this is what it should generally look like. This is the fairy ring. You're going to put that in the middle, and we'll talk about how that works in a second. The moon player goes first, and so what they're going to do is they're going to select 3 of their 4 trees and put druids on them. And we'll just do that. And then the sun player will do the same. Each player is going to have 3 cards off the top of their deck. And then they'll have sort of a reserve of cards remaining. During the game, if at the end of your turn you have no cards in your hand, you can draw 3 more cards off the top of your deck. If you don't have enough cards in your deck to draw, then you'll take everything that's in your discard pile and shuffle it together and make a new draw deck. So, there are 3 actions you can take in the course of the game. The first and most common one is going to be playing a spirit card. What you're going to do there is you're going to take one of the cards from your hand and play it to one of the 4 trees in front of you. And what's going to happen is you're going to say, I want to play this 3 here. I'm going to play it on this tree, which means I flip the card that was on top down and put it here because you only ever have the top card showing. And what you'll see on the cards is a number and a direction. The number is telling you that this is going to activate all other cards on the table that have that number, minus if there are any in the discard pile they don't activate. So this is called Making the Spirits Dance. And the arrow tells you what direction they are going to dance in. So this is saying that all the 3s are going to move clockwise. So, and the number of spaces they move is the number on the tree where you play the card. So I played it on my 3 trees. That means all 3s are going to move 3 spaces clockwise. So 1, 2, 3. 1, you count the discard piles as spaces. 2, 3, like that. At this point, you would resolve all the piles by moving them and setting so that there's only 1 card face up on each pile. Like so. The next thing that's going to happen is wherever you played a card, you're going to take the fairy ring and you're going to place it on that tree tile. We believe the rules state that it's more fun to place the ring on the cone like that, so that's what we do, but, you know, do whatever you're most enthusiastic about. And at this point, you would resolve any conflicts between the druids, and that only happens if you played a spirit card on your turn. A conflict is going to be, you're going to compare the numbers of the druid cards, not across each other on trees, but where the cones are located. So orange and orange, black and black, and purple. The exception is wherever the fairy ring is located, this tree is free from the potential of having a conflict, so there will be no purple conflict this turn. However, we will compare the values of orange and orange. You see that this one has 3 and this one has 4. What's going to happen there is that the higher valued card is going to discard their card to their pile, and they'll reveal the next card, and they're going to take one of their tokens and put it on the opposing player's tree. We would also resolve black, where 5 and 5 are the same number, which means they're in balance, and that means nothing happens and there's no conflict. And that's how that action works. So what's the point of these 2 symbols here? The goal of the game is to subvert 2 of your opponent's trees and convert them to your own color. The way you do that is by getting 6 of these placed on a single tree, which means you win 6 individual conflicts. The other way to subvert a tree is if at the end of a turn, if at the end of the player's turn they have no cards here, they then have 1 more turn to get another card placed here, and if they don't, then that tree will automatically subvert to the other player's color. So anytime a tree gets cleared of cards, you want to make it your priority to make sure you get a card back there on your next turn. Otherwise, you're going to lose that tree regardless of how many pieces are on it. When you subvert a tree, you just clear everything off of it and flip it over. You take all the cards that were attached to it and dump them in your discard pile. As soon as any one player has flipped 2 of their opponent's trees, then the game immediately ends, and they win. So as I mentioned, there are 3 actions you can take on your turn. The first one being the playing a spirit card and all the things that come with that after you resolve a conflict. That's all contained in that first action. Alternatively, during your turn, you could discard a spirit card, and what that means is you take one of the cards that's still in your hand and you just drop it right in your discard pile, or you take one of the cards from any of your trees and move it over to the discard pile like that. And if you did that, then you would reveal the next card that's face down in the pile like that. This is an action you'll probably take if the cards in your hand don't really help you at all. So playing a card would actually help your opponent more than help you. Or if you're trying to sort of reposition the numbers on the cards that are left in front of you. The third action you can take is to move a druid. And all that is you just take one of your druids and move it over to a different available tree. You can only have one druid on a tree at any time. And it doesn't matter where the druid is, it's just you just move it to another available tree. I want to make sure I'm really clear with how the discard tiles work, and that these are always counted as spaces. So when you are resolving any card's movement, you count these as if they were trees between the two rows. So if we're moving 3 clockwise, it would be counterclockwise. It would be 1, 2, 3, like that. If, on the other hand, I were to play this 4 like this, which would activate other 4s that are available, the discard tiles don't activate, so this 4 here wouldn't move. So in this situation, if I played a 4 there, that's all that would happen.
DruidenWalzer!
Okay.
Okay, so I'm the moon player, so I'm going first. So I'm going to place my druids, and then you'll place your druids. So I'm going to do something like this.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So we each draw 3 cards. Then I'm playing first, right? I think that's true. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and gamble. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this 1 over and play this 3 here. So that's gonna mean that all the 3s move this direction. So
1 space.
Yeah. What am I doing? I'm flipping that over and putting that there. And then I'm flipping this over. Oh, man. Okay.
Okay.
So then we have conflicts on all 3. Yeah. Okay. So orange and orange, I have to discard. Black and black, I have to discard, and then...
Did it. We're good.
Okay. And then we draw cards when you're out of cards in your hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought I remembered. Two.
2 is moving 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yep. Okay. So I have to discard it orange.
Mm-hmm.
There's no conflict at black because of the fairy ring, and then you're discarding at purple. And I get another one of those, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and play a 2 here. So, moving this way, 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait, where did this come from?
From here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And the fairy ring moves to orange. And so I'm discarding a black, and you're gaining a token there. Purple, you're discarding, and I'm getting a token there. And it's how many tokens before these flip? 6, right?
I think it's 6.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay.
So you discard that 5.
Yep.
And discard that 3. And then, never mind. No conflict in purple.
Yep. No conflict there, and we're in balance there. Okay. I'm gonna play here on black.
Which way?
This direction. That was only 1 space, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 3, yeah. So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Nothing happens.
Yep, everything's in balance, and I get 3 new cards. Okay, so 2s. Which way? That way? Okay. So 1, 2.
2.
And the fairy ring moves to here, right? Yeah. Okay, so you're discarding your 3. And I get a token.
Discarding this 4, and you get a token. There you go.
Okay. Oh, let's see what I have here. 3. Okay. ideal for me. I'm going to go ahead and play here. Okay. So I discard this 2, and you get a token.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well,
What you got? 3. Okay. Yeah. So that moves 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I have to discard my 5, and you take a token.
Yep. And then we're still in balance on purple.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to discard this 2.
This really sucks. Okay.
Okay. So that moves over. You gain a token at orange. And I lose my 4.
Discard that.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's real good.
Yep. Let's see. I want to... I'm going to play a 2 here. So this moves to here. You discard your 5 and I gain a token.
This happens first.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I didn't even notice that there were 2s. Okay. Yeah, so I gain a token. Your 5 gets discarded. Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. And then I discard this 5, and you gain a token. And there we go.
Yeah. Well, I've got so many options that...
Okay. So yeah, you discard there, and I gain a token.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I'm going to... Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, okay. I'm going to... I don't know that this is a good choice or not. I'm gonna...
Move a druid? Nobody's done that yet.
It's true. Let's see. If I do that, that's going to happen. But I don't want that to happen, so I really don't want to do this. So I want to discard this, I guess. So that's you. Okay. Okay. Let's see. If I do that. Yeah, I'm gonna go to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. That comes to here. So your 3 moves 1 over, and my 3 moves 1 over. And then I discard a 5, and then I discard a 4.
And a 2.
A 2. Okay, I wasn't sure what your...
Oh, sorry, never mind. Disregard.
Yeah, sorry.
I moved the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you need to reveal your carded orange.
Okay.
Okay, so you're discarding that 3. Yeah, okay. There we go. Okay. And I have...
Junk.
Junk. Yep. Not surprising. So that's you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Okay. Discard that.
Yep. And I gain a token here. And then...
Discard that.
Yep. And I gain a token there. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay. So that's going to happen. This 4 is going to move into the discard. And then, yeah, that happens. That happens. Does 2 beat 0? Like, I don't know if I discard a card if you don't have a card on orange. Probably.
Don't look at me. I don't have an answer to that.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Don't you think?
I don't know. So you're saying you discard
Did I discard my 2?
that and I put a token over there?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright.
I think that has to be true.
Alright.
Okay, so that happens. So you discarded orange. Or purple, yeah. And then you discard it black. And I
That's
gain
6 on
6
that one.
there, yeah.
So that guy moves over there.
Yep.
And that's it.
Okay, I lose. Yeah, that's it. Okay, good game.
I mean, don't you have to play something? Like, I don't understand.
Like I'm gonna lose now.
Well, I know, but, like, you still have to play a card.
So
3 goes...
1, 2 to here. That happens. You have to discard it orange, and I gain a token. Nothing happens to purple. You have to discard it black. Oh no! Yeah.
You
I have to
discard
discard
it
it black,
black,
and that gains a token.
What's that?
Yeah. Okay, I thought I was losing right then. I guess not.
I am forced to put this here. So that happens. Purple.
Yeah. Purple
Now
happens
you
and I
lose.
lose. Yeah.
And black does a thing on me and I flip 1. So.
Pretty close, as usual. It's kind of the way DruidenWalzer plays.
I don't know that our last game was actually close. The one that we filmed. I think I was trying something.
Oh yeah, you tried doing something weird.
I tried to just, like, make you discard all your cards.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work.
Yeah.
But it was like, it forced you to do something. Like, you were, like, forced to keep putting cards on those places, but
Yeah.
It just happened that the things that kept flipping up were just not,
Yeah.
like, they were just good cards, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
That's how druids dance.
Is that how they dance?
Yep.
I think it's DruidenWalzer. But maybe not.
Oh, how to pronounce it?
Yeah, in German.
I don't care.
Okay. DruidenWalzer!
The druid dance. Dancing druids. It's a 2-player game.
Yeah.
You can play it with 2 people.
You can only play it with 2 people, in fact.
You might be able to acquire a second copy of DruidenWalzer and modify it to play with more than 2 people, but...
So... I mean, it's a pretty deep puzzle strategy game.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to figure out how you're going to move your cards around and get the conflicts that you want without winning too many times so that you deplete your forces. I don't know, what do you think?
Unless
about
you
it?
want to deplete your forces because you want them to end up in your discard pile so
Yeah.
you get them back.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in there, and mechanically, it's pretty decent mechanically.
I think this is a good game for people who don't mind that sort of sit there and take all the time you want to figure out the best move possible.
Sure.
Um,
That kind of play in silence, counting in your head, trying to figure out, okay, if I play this, I'm going to move everything. Okay.
because everything you do, for the most part, is going to like affect several other things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are very small instances where you play a card and just nothing happens, but usually you play a card and it affects the entire playing area, and so you have to sit there and run through.
Okay, all of these cards move, and then this is where those cards will be, and then these druids will have conflicts, and then I will win these things. And then you realize that you counted it all wrong, and you've just ruined everything, and you lose the conflicts.
I mean, I don't know. A couple times it seemed to me, because I'm not willing to sit there and calculate the best move possible, I'm more interested in just getting things moving.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just do a thing just to get something done, which is not how you're supposed to play this game.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh well, you just scored on my move because I don't have any idea what I'm doing, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, this game, it's old. It's not likely to get a resurgence in popularity anytime soon.
Yeah, it came out in 1999, and I don't think I would have ever heard of it if we hadn't gotten a copy of it.
Yeah. I'm a fan of just random obscure games, weird themes. This is a game about opposing druids, night and day druids, having a sort of a dance off to own trees.
Yeah.
So it's really just odd what you're doing, and I think if someone really wanted to invest the time into becoming a grandmaster at DruidenWalzer, they could. This could be a game where, because I think it's mechanically sound enough, I think if you have two people who are like super into it, they could have like this, brain off at each other to see who is the better strategist with what they're given, kind of thing. There's still an element of luck to it, so it's not like...
Yeah, you don't know what you have face down at the start of the game, and it could be all junk.
Yeah.
Or it could be all your good cards.
You could deduce it based on what you see come up, but, so it's not like so pure strategy that it's like chess, but it's in that same field of being that kind of strategy game.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is not my game, but at the same time, I don't hold that against it. I think it's perfectly fine as a strategy game, especially if you don't have a lot of alternate options for two-player pure strategy games,
Art-wise,
I think it's fine.
I don't really like the art in this game at all. Like, I think the art on the cards is just not very good. I mean, it's 1999, so you're kind of judging it by higher standards than that by playing it now, but I don't know, I don't really like the art on the cards.
I've seen so many like worse games.
Sure.
Like, I'm just like, well, it's fine.
Sure.
It didn't bother me while playing it.
Okay.
And it wouldn't detract from, if I liked everything else about this game, the artwork wouldn't put me off. So I think if you see the game and you think mechanically it looks interesting to you, you shouldn't be put off by the artwork. The components are interesting with the wooden cone pieces and the fairy
and the
ring.
little fairy ring,
You put
yeah.
on the cones
Yeah.
and the big tiles for the trees. Yeah,
I guess it's worth pointing out, like, if you do know how to play DruidenWalzer, this was our best guess at the rules.
yeah, we went ahead and just made some general interpretations of what we thought was made the most sense. There's the theoretical possibility that we were wrong, but no one else has made a video about this so far, so...
And there's not a lot of, like, rules clarification out there. So, you know, if you own a copy of the game and you are pretty fluent in German...
And feel like
if we're doing
wrong.
things wrong, you know, you can tell us that. We would love to know that so that we can fix it.
Or just make your own video.
Indeed.
As far as rating goes, I think I'm fine with keeping it the 5.75 marker, which is what we gave when we initially played it.
Yeah. I think 5.75 is pretty good for it.
I don't foresee me ever giving it something higher because I don't want to play it.
Yeah. Mechanically, like, I don't think there's anything wrong. It's just not a game that we enjoy.
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
Yep.
I was waiting for your druid one line.
I was gonna... I don't know.
You drew a blank on it?
I can't think of anything druid related to say.
A dance-off related one?
Quote from Footloose.
You've been served.
Is that Footloose?
No.